Hello, hello again. Ian Iliona. Ian Iliona. If I can't even fucking say my own name, how can I expect anybody to say my name whenever you're around me? Ah, that was harrowing. And by the way, this is why I wear a hat. This is why I wear a hat because I have just terrible, out of control hair, and I feel self conscious about it. I should, but it's so wild and savage. I love it. I love being myself. Should. I'm the person who has to live in this body. It's the only one I have. Let's start over again. This is Ian Iliona of the I Hate LA, Love Me Anyway podcast. I did a previous podcast out in public. Complete fucking miss. Oh. Well, you can't really control an outdoor venue. I mean, it's not really designed for that. I kind of impromptu just said, I'm going to park myself there and talk about political issues over food. What could go wrong? But I'm glad that I did. Food was delicious, and as soon as I finished that podcast and head outside, I saw a homeless person there just walking around with a blanket over their head, face covered in dirt, grime, and smog. And here I am. As I said, I have anorexia, so I wasn't able to finish my meal. I took one look at that person and I said, internally, here you go. I just gave the food away. It takes nothing to be a decent person. And I know that there's this phrase going around called virtue signaling, and it shames people for saying that they want to do the right thing. I don't believe in shame for that. I believe in celebration. I helped a person today for no other reason than they needed my help. That's the kind of person that I am. I'm a person who helps someone when they're in need. I I am poor. I am impoverished. I can't see myself as any better just because I have a leather jacket, or I make music, or I'm a veteran, or anything like that. This person was covered in dirt and hurt and pathetic in every sense of the way. And I mean that with love, because this person didn't even have the strength to ask me if they could have their food. That's how poor that person was. I gave that food to that person. They didn't have to ask me. They don't have to ask me to be a decent person. Hi. I'm having a hard time. Amber Bryant. Yes. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Ian Iliona. I am an environmentalist and a philanthropist, an artist, an engineer, and astronaut. Another person, Missy. Well, nice to meet you, Missy. That's funny, Amber. And I know that I usually take this. Sherry, hi, hi. I usually take this podcast to LA fires and doom and gloom, but I wanted to. Oh, I'm sorry, Amber. Jaden. Nice to. Jaden. Very nice to. Cool name. Very nice to meet you. I usually take this podcast to the LA fires, but instead of that, I wanted to talk to you about what happened to me after I left the last podcast and I saw a homeless person and I gave them food without asking for anything in return, without making them feel bad for being hungry. I'm anorexic. I'm anorexic and I I hate food. I hate food because I live in a country where I have military sexual trauma, and just going outside to get that meal was so emotionally draining that I broke down in the bathroom and gave myself a little cry. Thank you for saying that, Missy. You know, I encourage people to see the people around you. With my PTSD, I'm in defensive mode all the time. I'm always angry. I'm always upset. I'm always on the verge of tears or I'm crying. I don't look at the people around me. I don't try and talk to them and engage with them. But I I feel for people when I finished the podcast. I could sense there was a person in need, but I couldn't exactly tell where that person was. I'm First Nations, so I believe in vibes and nature and connections that you can't explain through normal means. So I couldn't find this person, but I knew that they were there and I knew that they were hungry. So I found that person without even trying and just gave the food and went about my day. And that's what I want to talk about in this podcast today of food waste. I said I was going to do that in the two podcasts ago, that I was going to talk about composting, just like a idea of recycling and making sure. Oh, thank you for sharing this journey with me. No, I will definitely keep making videos and keep talking to people through this, because it's a lot easier to talk to people on a platform like YouTube than to try to do it in person. In person, I'm too clumsy. I'm too guarded to hurt, to make a connection. And I should. Do you know how many people in Los Angeles have tried to talk to me and I had to turn them down because I'm not ready. I'm not ready to trust. I'm not ready to open myself to being hurt again after my military sexual trauma by the United States Air Force. Amber, I would always encourage you, for your own safety, make sure that you give to reputable organizations, Salvation Army, and other charitable organizations that specialize in homeless management. I am patting myself on the back and encouraging people to give up their food scraps for homeless people. At the same time, I will go further with this conversation because I say it has to be a larger. I know it's very, very hard. But if you subscribe, I will make sure to call you Jaden every single time. Well, it's very important for your safety to make sure that there is that barrier between yourself and people in need, because sometimes you want to do the right thing and they may misconstrue that, they may take advantage of that. Actually, that's lovely, Jaden. I'm going to read that out loud. I gave all my Christmas money to a homeless shelter. Oh, and thank you, Sherry, for coming. Appreciate you. Sorry, I am way behind in reading these things. Thank you, Sherry. I can definitely use subscribers, and because I'm going to keep speaking about these kind of things, and yeah, that's what you want to do, because you want to see a pathway toward self-reliance. Thank you, Jaden, for your subscription. I definitely appreciate that. Uh, I'm saying that, and I'm also battling the Veteran Affairs for my own veteran benefits. And I know that a lot of veterans don't like to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because this affects me, and this affects how I speak to and relate to other people. It is a very expensive thing to ask someone with military sexual trauma to, oh, I have a new person, Junior. Hi, Junior. To go out in public and engage with people. And I know that I am extremely approachable and people want to engage with me, but I don't have the barriers that I have set up. I don't have a place that I could recuperate. I'm going to discuss this here with all of you now. I am no longer going to be in this apartment. I want to seek better accommodation where I'm not constantly being abused. I am being abused in this apartment complex, and I've spoken to my lawyers about it. I haven't spoken to specifically eviction lawyer team about this, but it, I don't know. Being homeless is not the end of the world. Being homeless means that you can pick yourself back up because you learned something. You learned something the last time you were homeless. I learned a lot when I was homeless before. I learned that I can survive, that I'm a survivor. And sometimes that's all you need to know in life is you'll get through it. That you can keep going, that you're strong, even when you don't feel that way. Oh no, what's going on, Jaden? I'm sorry, I'm reading Junior. I love your hair and your voice. Uh, I normally wear a hat over all this, but I gotta get used to the fact that I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a supermodel. I'm not a pop star. I'm just a disabled American transgender veteran who is trying to get through the day. And this is the hair of a disabled transgender American veteran. I'm not a special person. I'm just me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jaden. Best wishes for you, of course. I want you to get better. I want this country to get better. That's one of the main reasons, because I care. I care that America is hurting, and I have nothing. I have I don't have my Air Force, which I joined because I wanted to save my save my state, save my community, save my family from what is going on in the world. Pollution is robbing us of our lives. A lack of ability to look at environmental issues is hurting us financially, it is hurting us socially. Some people are becoming fat, not just because of the food that they eat, but because the air itself is ruining your ability to appreciate the joy of being outside, walking around. Your body knows inside what is going on, and we ignore these things, just like people ignore the voices in their own head telling them to connect, telling them to help people like the homeless, telling them to love themselves. When you look in the mirror, I hate looking in the mirror because I see what has happened to me and I don't like it. I don't like to look at myself. I find it hard to even look at myself for this podcast. But I force myself to do it, and I force myself to try and be a better person. We have to talk about health issues. Thank you, Jaden, for sharing that personal thing. I don't know your specific issue. I mean, that's very personal to you. I will say that I joined the military to be an engineer, but also to be a doctor. Life is hard. It's hard for everyone. Just because I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, I will not put myself above another person who is struggling, because we all have struggles that are of differing intensities, and we shouldn't have to feel like we're struggling alone. I joined the military because I wanted to be a doctor. I joined the military because I'm the type of person who dives into a situation and excises diseased tissue. I'm a person who will resect flesh, dive right in, and pull out the decay. And in this case, it is the lack of hope and compassion in America for anything other than... Oh, bye, Jaden. Feel better. I hope Jaden recovers. That's got to be rough. The lack of empathy means that when it comes to large issues like those forest fires, which I will always circle right back to, we don't see the forest, the trees, we don't see the animals, we don't see the birds as part of our community. We don't see them as anything of value. They're not a celebrity. They're not your favorite song on the radio. They're not anything to you, but they matter. And not only do they matter, but the firefighters that go out and... Oh, hello, Vanessa. I do actually want to be a neurosurgeon. I have studied medicine. I just obviously don't have credentials, so I can't call myself a doctor. Yeah, I plan on going to medical school as soon as I have my veteran benefits, PTSD or not. I owe it to myself and I owe it to the community to do more for public health. No, it's quite all right, Jaden. You come and go as you see fit. You know, I want to make this a safe space for people to feel like they can. Oh wow, Missy, I did not know that. My mother passed away while I was in military service. And the last thing I talked to her, and you know, she could tell that things were rough. She didn't know at the time that I was about to be sexually abused by the United States Air Force, but my family has always been sensitive. I don't know. It might have been the shock of the event that pushed her over the edge and killed her. To know that her child, her son, the one that she loved, was being sexually abused by the United States Air Force, and might have pushed her over the edge. I'll never know. I'll never know for sure what pushed her over the edge to leave this world. But I think that probably was part of that. That the United States Air Force did that. I am an environmentalist. I love trees. I love plants. I love animals. I do not dislike humans to the point of wanting to see them immolated in a fire. So I am on here every day to talk about environmental issues because I have to convince people to care about California, to care about what is going on in every state, every country, because those LA fires are just a very, very loud example of climate change run amok. Oh, wow, I did not know that, Jaden. That is rough. Thank you for sharing that, you know. As I said, you know, I want people to feel comfortable in my podcast to share their misery, you know, because misery loves company, and I know that you know that makes people uncomfortable because nobody wants to be around that. I say, I hear you, I see you, I feel your pain. I 100% understand what it means to lose someone, to feel hurt, and more than the military sexual trauma that the Air Force put me through, I lost my faith in America. I didn't think of that as something so fragile that words, threats could shatter. But I lost that. I lost my ability to see the country as anything more than the source of all my pain. I'm still on a long road to recovery. And thankfully, I do art therapy through music therapy as my creative outlet, because right now I just want to drink. I just want to be like any other veteran abused, manipulated, and distorted by the United States American government, who, because of the hurt, just turns to alcohol, drugs, risky sex, in order to numb the pain that they feel inside. Because when people say to you, Thank you for your service. It's oftentimes very hollow. It's hollow because how can I expect any of you to truly understand what it means to live in a country that violated you while you were trying to defend your country? You're in uniform, you know, there's an American flag on your chest, on your shoulder. You are living the American dream. There is no feeling like being a part of something that you believe in. That's a wonderful question, Vanessa. My father is of British descent. I'm an American that was born here. You can tell I got out much. You can tell that I read my Jane Austen. I stayed in and I read. I didn't socialize that much. I had one girlfriend in high school and we spoke Spanish together. You know, there was not a lot to really talk about. She was beautiful and she spoke Spanish, and anybody else I didn't fucking care about. I had a lovely lacrosse player who used to walk me to my lockers and carry my books for me as one of my fondest memories. And there's like super cute, like super popular joke, and he would carry my books to my locker every day. We never kissed, we never did anything, but it's a fond memory. CT! Welcome back, welcome back. I wanted to come back because I have an iPhone, but it's not the latest iPhone. It's just one of those regular iPhones, so it doesn't have a large enough battery. So when I was eating that meal and doing the podcast, it completely lost battery, and I had to rush all the way back here because if I didn't, I wouldn't have any electricity in it to continue the podcast. So I do remember that you were there, and the last thing that you said to me was I wanted to give you some advice, and unfortunately, I had to just call the podcast to a halt right there because I had to rush all the way back here and then reconnect it to AC power. I'm running on AC right now because the battery's just not ready there, and I need to get a better cell phone. It's on my list. It's on my list of things to do, but cell phone contracts are so expensive, and I want the latest phone, doesn't everyone? I'm going to read that out loud. The reason why I gave money to the poor is to tell myself that people are in trouble. Brilliantly said, and that is spot on. Jaden, that is absolutely spot on. When you take it upon yourself to open your eyes and see other people, you will become a better person. Aw, I appreciate that, CT. It's hard to put yourself out there as a community outreach specialist because it's investing in someone and you don't know whether or not there's going to be a return on that or you're just adding risk. I was trying to say before that I'm fighting with the VA right now to get my veteran benefits because I have serious PTSD from military sexual trauma. I can't go outside that often because when I do, it is overwhelming. So I can't work. I can't speak to people. I can't even see people. Seeing people brings flashbacks to me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That is not right. Jaden, I'm gonna have to tell you that you have to love yourself when your family or your friends are ragging on you and you feel that they don't respect you enough. You have to respect yourself. Only you are responsible for your happiness. If you seek happiness from other people, you will always be disappointed. Since my PTSD and moving to Los Angeles, I have been so single. So single to the point that I don't even go in those dating apps because they're too depressing. And all I do now is make love poetry for a certain fictional, completely just the fictional character from a very, very popular show because I really, really like the sense of honor and dignity that this character portrays and how his beauty is all in how courageous and selfless he is. And I know that those are words on a page that this Hollywood actor is just bringing to life. I still love that. I still love the idea that people in America can be heroes. I normally go through California wearing my superhero costumes. Usually I'm a Superboy or I'm Miles Morales. Sometimes I'm Hobie without even trying. But that is fantasy. But in reality, we still need heroes. There's no shame in that. You know, sometimes it's actually better to lose a little bit to gain some self-respect. Actually, I follow, I think it's Camping with Nola in LA. This lovely journey that this man is taking with his animal. Has a tent, gorgeous tent, high-tech tent. And he lives in it sometimes with his dog. Sometimes I think it was an RV. But I saw the tent and I just said, that's what I want. I'm I'm losing my housing. I'm losing my housing, but I'm also thinking I'm regaining my dignity. I'm regaining my dignity because while living here, these people have harassed me. These people have tried to break into my apartment. These people have sicked a pit bull on myself and my animal. And every day it's jump scares and people, you know, trying to sneak up behind me and all of that. It's way too stressful. So if they told me, get the fuck out my apartment, I'm going to say, I'll see you in court over that. I'll see you in court because I did all your fucking paperwork. I did everything. And I've already told you that I was fucking leaving. So you want to evict me, but you can't just evict me without giving me an avenue to get a brand new apartment. Like, I, I, I'm gonna talk to you as plainly and as really as possible. I make music. I don't make music to the level of Beyonce or Lady Gaga, and I use them as examples. I could easily say Sabrina Carpenter or Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez was super super nice to me when I'm hurt and I I feel so much pain. But Selena Gomez cared enough through her management team to say, you can do a cover of my song. But not only that, but she said that twice. Twice. You, Ian Iliana, can do 2 covers of my music if you want. No, she didn't write it down specifically to me, but I have a contract with her. Uh-huh. So thank you, Selena Gomez, for being so cool, so cool to let me do your songs, and it brings me joy to not only listen to your music, but to hear my version of it and feel as if even through my PTSD, I'm connected to someone, and when you sing that song, and I sing that song too, I feel as if things are going to be okay. I always try to find those lives like this because it makes me feel better. Oh, anything I can do. I know a lot of people who do lives and they play their music and they get the crowd going, and I want to do that too. I really do. I'm gonna try to do that. I might actually try to do that after this present podcast. I haven't figured out all of the technology for that because I want to do a bit of live DJing on here. So I have to smooth out my playlist. I can't stress enough how wonderful it is that the music industry, they get it. I made a request of Kesha. I said, Kesha, can I do a remix of TikTok? She said yes. Kesha said yes. I am wow. I can't take it. Kesha said yes to me to do a remix of not remix, like a cover of TikTok, and then take that iconic song and take that to a brand new, like, when I did that song, I was shocked. I was like, the song was already perfect. It's a perfect song. If you listen to TikTok, it will amp you up. It's right up there with Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball and TikTok for me are just songs that no matter what mood you're in, you put those 2 songs on, and you're like, I am ready. I am ready. What you got? What you got? Throw it at me. Come at me, bro. Like you have that fire in you when you hear that song or any of those. So when I did a reimagined cover of TikTok, which is "The Party Don't Stop" by Ian Iliana, which is really TikTok, but for some reason the stores don't like you to use the word TikTok, which is ridiculous because they're just upset that TikTok is super popular and their stores aren't really as popular. Oh, definitely. Like I'm all for criticism, good, bad, whatever. It's up to me to be an adult and learn how to filter. And the way you learn how to filter is you listen to everything, good, bad, and everything. Oh, thank you, Jaden. funny you should mention that. I didn't put it in the links. I'm really bad at self-promotion. But change.org/clean air disco. Change.org/clean air disco. I am at some point going to embark on my North American tour of only Canada. And in Canada, I will be doing concerts and informational sessions for every town that I visit. I will visit your city hall and I will have a conversation with you and your people about what you can do in order to reduce pollution throughout Canada. I must protect Canada. Canada is beautiful if you've ever been. Has forests, lovely trees. Trees that enjoy a nice quiet life because it's so fucking cold there. It's so fucking cold that all the fucking humans that are near it, those lovely Canadians who love to love to chop down a tree every now and then, they have to say, I'd rather stay in. I'd rather stay in by the fire and let the tree just grow a little bit taller. And so trees are winning in Canada. Which is why I want to give a concert. I want to give a concert with people who said, you know, I could expand cities and towns and whatever and just clear entire forests. But it's cold enough as it is. We'll just stay right where we are. It really brings out the environmentalist in you when it's just so cold that you have to let nature be nature. Oh, thank you. Thank you, CT, for saying that. I I believe that you do have to try and have faith and confidence in life. As far as the right path for me, I know what the right path for me is. It's to be an astronaut. I know that in America, it's why don't you just be a star? You can dance, you can sing, you can act. Stand back. Acting. John Lovitz, my favorite. He's the coolest person I know. It's it's too difficult for me to do that. There was probably a time when I could have. I've actually auditioned. I have auditioned for shows. I auditioned for American Idol, and I had this really strange idea that it was a singing competition. So instead of singing the latest hit, I sang Deeper by this beautiful, talented Canadian artist, Alex Johnson, who I've always fancied, respected. I've always respected her as a musician, talented singer with such character and richness of her voice. It moves me. You mean the play about my great 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 grandfather? Oh, I am a Hamilton. So yeah, it was super weird that there's a play about him because I don't exactly get invited to the family gatherings that they have. So yeah. Oh, this is going to be a really cool conversation to have. So I have several connections to the play Hamilton. I have a connection that I am a Hamilton, and then I have the connection through my mother. My mother was American, so her side of the family were Hamiltons. And then The other connection that I have is I was on a date with this lovely, lovely Frenchman who I met in a disco, and I was on the way to him, and I had a bunch of flowers in my hand because I had it in my head that I was going to be Captain Romance and try and win this Frenchman over to me and see if I could take things a bit more serious. And as I was walking to meet this Frenchman, I walked through Broadway. Big mistake, because instead of just going through it, or without really looking at anything, I think I stopped at Phantom of the Opera, and I was looking at the display, and I don't know, I was fantasizing about being a Broadway singer, being someone who wins a Tony. I love singing. I I think I actually do love musicals. But either way, I was staring out the window of Phantom of the Opera, and I bump into Jonathan Groff. Wow. I say, "Hi, Blaine." And he says in response, "Are those flowers for me?" And I was so rude. I was so rude to him because I said, "No, it's for my date. It's for the guy I'm about to see." And I just pretty much flipped him off and went my own way. I didn't mean to be such a rude person. I did not. I did not mean to be so rude to Jonathan Groff. But it's like, fuck you, dude. Like, honestly. Like, how presumptive of you to see the flowers and say, "Are those for me?" Like, you know they aren't. Like, I know that you're with Zachary Quinto at this moment. Don't try and flirt with me. Because back then, I mean, like, my hair was down to here. I was blonde. I was super sexy. So I don't know if he would even remember that. I don't know if he would. But it was really strange because I didn't obviously continue the romance with. Oh, thank you for the compliments, Jaden. Thank you. I didn't pursue a romance with the Frenchman, and I was already going to like a year went by. A year went by. I was on a new date. A new date. We were going to eat salads, which is a terrible idea as a date now that I think about it. But I was young and I didn't have a lot of money, and I said, "Let's stare at these green things and pretend to have conversation and see if that goes anywhere." So I am about to walk into the date, and once again, that Jonathan Groff right there in front of me. And I politely say hello. He politely says hello. And this was at the time of that show Looking. And I'll just say it. He was a big slut in that show, and I enjoyed every single moment of it because I always fancied him. I knew he had someone at the time, which is why I didn't give him the time of day, because I thought Zachary Quinto is also a very attractive Harry Otter, and I'm into that. So I don't know if you've ever seen the gif of Zachary Quinto just covered in milk. The man just drips masculinity and sexuality, and I adore him. And the fact that he and Zachary Quinto were together, I was like, I don't even care that it's physically impossible. I want the two of you to make babies. and I want, those babies to, just take over the world and be beautiful, brilliant, just gods walking among us. That's what I want. I'll certainly do a live tomorrow, and if you subscribe, you'll know exactly when that is. I'm not really consistent with the time. I have to be, but I saw him during looking, and thank goodness for the power of cinema, because I was like, if there was anywhere I was gonna ever see you, getting railed, it would definitely be thanks to HBO. And HBO gave that to me because he was a bottom in that, and I fucking love watching him. Wow, he was sexy. I did not mean to be so explicit, but now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds a little dirty in my head to say that. But like I said, I'm a disabled American veteran with PTSD from military sexual trauma. I don't really get out that much, and all I have is a subscription to Max to watch that at my leisure. Jonathan Groff on his knees, preparing in San Francisco, all shy and adorable. Delicious. Call me. Oh, did I lose Missy? Oh, actually, I do go to church every now and then. It's hard to keep up with church because with my PTSD, like I want to feel that energy, feel that quiet space. I recently started going to a Mormon church, and I have to say they're fucking cool people. Great listeners and just very welcoming. They don't shove their agenda on you or anything like that. They're just like, you want to hang out with us, hang out with us. Come to our church, hang out. We're not going to try and do more. I mean, they do proselytize, but they're not pushy. They're just like, I'm going to be cool. And if you want to, just be around our cool energy, cool. And I was like, I'm down for that. I'm down for cool energy. So, yeah, Hamilton. And he's King George. And my sister loves his song. And after I got out of well, I mean, middle of military service, she's like, you need to hear this. And so she plays to me You'll Be Back by Jonathan Groff for the Hamilton musical. And she played it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Till eventually I grew to love it. I grew to love it. I sang it. I perfected it. I haven't done a cover of it because I'm super shy. Not that shy that I won't admit that I fancied him on Looking. Not that shy. And I probably should audition for Hamilton at some point. It's just I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, and nobody wants to see a very talented singer, musician, actor, dancer freak out on stage for what is the titular scene in a play. So there goes my acting career, which would never really happen because I could probably do a scene if I felt comfortable. If you follow me on X, like I constantly like write little vignettes of scenes that I could potentially do with celebrities that I've known their career, and I don't know, I feel like they might be able to be more patient with me than most people who have already established a cast and things like that. But it still behooves me to say that it's so much more than just showing up on set. You know, people talk about this whole musician thing, and it's all about, you know, getting yourself out there. Being an actor is putting yourself out there. It means you know, you are present on set, that you can remember lines and engage with people. I'm not saying, you know, flirt with the directors, but, you know, be charming, just be affable, be someone that they want to have on set, and therefore invite you to the next film, because that's how this business operates. This entertainment business operates on likability. If you are a problem actor, you get a reputation, and you know your career is very short because of that. I'm not exactly saying that I would be, but I have a lot of requests. I have a lot of requests in order to even consider that. But it's a nice daydream to think about in another life where I didn't have such crippling PTSD. Thank you. I am really excited for Tell It to My Heart to come out because, as I said, I am transgender, and I hate that. I hate that because the American government forced that upon me by sexually abusing me at Lackland. I didn't choose to be transgender. I really didn't. I always thought that I was on a path, find the right girl, marry her. I don't care, you know, I'm bisexual. So I'm equal opportunity, or at least I used to be more equal opportunity before the military sexual trauma. Now it's like super difficult because I'm super into supermodels. I believe her name is Cara Delvigny. I'm butchering her fucking name. She's so fucking hot. That fucking hot girl with the model looks, who is the coolest girl I have ever seen, most beautiful girl in the world to me. If she was in front of me, I would definitely ask her out. I mean, I did date a supermodel in for a while. No, I mean, I don't know if she was a supermodel at the time. She probably is a supermodel now. I feel like she was going to grow into that career. That's a very good question, CT. I I don't know how to really respond to, you know, my asexuality, because I want to get out there. I want to get out there and talk to people. I mean, we live in a very sexualized society. Like everything is literally a music video. People are walking around with the skimpiest of outfits, showing flesh. I live in Los Angeles. Woo, woo, woo. There's some hot people here. I mean, there are. I don't think they live in this neighborhood, because every time I go out, it is just not that, is the polite way of saying that. So, yeah, it kind of makes me want to just stay in and not try to date. I tried to date this actor, and he was a nice person, and we just weren't a good fit, because I'm too damaged, and I wanted him to be happy. And you know, I want to explore my more heterosexual side, but I have so many hang-ups about it because of my military sexual trauma. So it's really difficult. I want to open myself up to the females of my fan base, because I know that I definitely have female fans, and I know that they're cool, and I know that they want to call me daddy and let me love them. And it's like, I do love you. I love you through my songs. I love you. Like, if you listen to Olive Garden, which I am telling you to enjoy. Olive Garden. That song is a love letter to my fans that are female because I can't physically engage with you right now. I still hold out the hope that with the right amount of security measures and maybe some very difficult therapy with a trusted doctor, team of doctors, I might be able to do meet and greets with fans because I don't want to be that person who just flips off the people who buy my songs. People buy my music. I don't know why, but they do. And I say thank you. I don't know their gender. I have to assume that they could be female, and therefore, thank you. That's how I respond to that. Logan! That's how you respond to that. I'm sorry. Every time I see your name, I'm like, oh, it's that Logan. I say that because when I was watching, I believe it's Deadpool and Wolverine, they had a big giant cutout of Hugh Jackman, and I parked myself right next to him. I know because like I love Ryan Reynolds, I really do, because I love Canada. So I love Ryan Reynolds, but Hugh Jackman was right there as a cutout, and I had my poor sister who came all the way to fucking California to come see me, and I said, "Come on, get your phone out, because I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture with Hugh Jackman, because when would there ever be an opportunity for someone like me to take a picture with Hugh Jackman? I mean, that would be impossible. I mean, for one, I live in Los Angeles, and two, like he's too cool. So when I see your name, it's just Logan. Oh, you never saw that movie? Oh, I highly recommend it. It's really good. I tell you what, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm gonna do a solid 1800, which is 6 p.m. on the East Coast, and I believe that is 9 o'clock on the West Coast, and 7 and 8 anywhere between. And if you live outside of there, 1800, 6 p.m. West Coast time. Oh, and what is good? I am talking about level of gratitude and respect for the human race. Alabama, Arkansas. I did not know that, CT. I want to move to Alabama actually. You might be able to help me because I'm facing eviction from my current apartment, even though I did all the paperwork and everything, and they refused to give me a hot flash voucher so I can go live in another state. I do want to live in Alabama. I actually do. I I love country music. I actually do country songs, in addition to my very slutty electro swing. I do country music. I don't know if you know the band The Chicks or Chris Young. I did covers of The Chicks and Chris Young, which will be okay. The cover of The Chicks is already out. It's Cowboy Take Me Away. I did a cover of that. Oh, it's the same name that you have right here, Logan. It's I'm Ian Iliana. So if you look me up there, you can find all my music. As I said, I highly recommend Olive Garden. It's a beautiful cheeky song. I love it. And then if you want something a little bit cooler, I do recommend The Chicks, the cover that I did of their song Cowboy Take Me Away. Although I also have covers of Kesha, I have covers of Selena Gomez, covers of the Duchess Fergie, London Bridge. Like, if you're looking for like really cool, like indie interpretations of songs, because I'm an independent artist, I have no label, no manager. I am the manager. Let me speak to you, manager. I am the manager. So I am solely responsible for having the worst music career, because I don't really consider that a career. I consider it a lovely, lovely hobby, like knitting. Well, if you are you like Central Time, because if it's Central Time, I want to say it's about 7 or 6. So if you start looking for me around 7 or 6 your time, no, not even 7 or 6. It'd be like 7 or 8, 7 8, because you'd be further the other way. So it'd be 7 8. So around. I know. I'm so English that sometimes thinking in American actually hurts my brain. It's so true. It's so true. When I'm allowed to just think in my own British, I'm so much clear headed, so much more clear headed. But, thinking in American time zones just causes short circuits. But yes, I believe that would be around 7 or 8 your time. But if you subscribe, it will give you an alert. So no matter where. Are you laughing at me? No matter where you are, it will tell you when that'll be, and then I'll make that the consistent time from now on. So 1800 will be the consistent time. I might do podcasts before that, but there will definitely be a podcast every day at 1800 West Coast time. I have a bunch of new music coming out. I'm so super, super stoked. I am super stoked that I did a brilliant rendition of George Michael, Freedom 90. I actually did some Elton John. Yeah, that would be right. 7, 7, 8. Thank you for the subscription, Logan. Thank you, thank you. I'm still standing. I remember when I first came to Los Angeles, and I was lost. I was lost when I came here. I was lost because I have PTSD, and I was trying to force myself, be productive, work through it, and I was able to finally get a transfer to Los Angeles, and I came all the way here, and I was working in a warehouse, trying to work in a warehouse. Just I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I tried, and every time I tried, it got worse. And then one day I was in what amounted to a shipping container, or like a truck. I was in the back of a truck trying to load it with packages. And I just started singing, "You will never know what it's like. Your blood like a winter freezes just like ice. There's a cold, lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like a wreck. You wind up like a wreck. You wind up like a wreck. You hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again. The cold, lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like a wreck. You wind up like a wreck. You wind up like a wreck. You hide behind that mask you use. And don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. Whoa, whoa, I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, City, for saying that. So I sang that in the back of a FedEx truck. By myself. Because I was having a PTSD flashback and I didn't want to cry in a FedEx van. I didn't want to cry. So I sang Elton John instead. I quit. I quit. I just said I would rather cry by myself and sing this song than force myself to relive my PTSD in the back of a FedEx van. And I keep saying that because I just want you to realize that I wasn't trying to shirk the human responsibility to do something with your life. I was trying, and I was failing. I was failing. You can definitely call me Ian. I am Ian Iliana as a musician. I think it shows up here in my life. But either way, it's IANXILYANA. That is my name. If you want to follow my music, as I said, I am trying to strike a balance between privacy and trying to engage with what could be fans. I don't know. If people heard what what you just heard, or heard the cover, which is coming out very soon, of Elton John, I'm Still Standing, with me on piano, because I play the piano too. If you hear that, you might turn into be a fan. And I have to respect people who choose, out of all the artists that are out there, to spend maybe not money, but at least some time listening to my music, because that is cool. You know, I want to engage with people who enjoy my music, because when I make that music, I do it for the selfish reason of trying to escape my PTSD. But if it speaks to you on another level, if it makes your life any better, then thank you, because I'm glad that I could do something for you. I'm glad that I can make your day any better. Thank you, CT. Thank you for coming on here, and thank you for the subscription. Definitely need more. Appreciate it. You know, you're a cool person. Glad to have you here on my podcast. And thank you for saying my music is great. I'm going to continue to do so because, as I said, I'm a PTSD warrior and I am a champion of clean air for everyone, including our children. who have tiny developing lungs, and they need people to stand up to politicians like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass and tell them that we have to do something about pollution. Definitely check in tomorrow, like I said, 1800 West Coast time, Pacific Standard, which would be, if you live in things like Alabama, there'd be 7 or 8. So somewhere in between there. But if you subscribe, it will give you an alert and tell you exactly when the next podcast has begun. So you can join in on all the fun. I don't know. I feel like I could sing a little bit more. So I could normally sing anything. I guess I could do an original, which is Crush on Wonder. It's on my Union Station album I distributed through DistroKid. So if you want to hear it with the piano. Bye, CT. Thank you for joining. But if you want to hear it with piano, DistroKid published that album for me. It's my Union Station album, Crush on Wonder. I'm just going to do it a cappella, because I should have my keyboard in front of me, but I don't right now, and that's okay. I'm a singer, so professional. And sometimes you have to sing a cappella. You never know. You don't need an echo pedal in order to make yourself cool, although I do love using that. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm kinda wasted. Yeah, I'm kinda faded. Never met a drug like you. Even though it hurts me saying you don't want me, I still got a crush. Yeah, I still got a crush. When you walk in the room, I don't know what to do. When you walk in the room, I don't know what to do. Heart shaking, earthquaking the way you move. Is it any wonder I got a crush on you? Is it any wonder I got a crush on you? Baby, I'm the dumb one, call me the stupid one, 'cause I never get enough. You know what you do, you manipulative bastard. You one hell of a drug. When you walk in the room, I don't know what to do. You walk in the room, I don't know what to do. Heart shaking, earthquaking the way you move. Is it any wonder I got a crush on you? Is it any wonder I got a crush on you? I was born in a thunderstorm, bolt of lightning and all the noise. Romeo and Juliet. I'm kinda shy, but I'm making my move. Are you alone tonight? Please, baby, don't pick fights. I just wanna know if you can go out and go out. Are you alone tonight? Please, baby, don't pick fights. I just wanna know if you can go out and go out. Go out and go out. Go out and go out. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. You were never in the right place for me to love you. You run away when things get hard. What's the use? Are you alone tonight? Please, baby, don't pick fights. I just wanna know if you can go out and go. Are you alone tonight? Please, baby, don't pick fights. I just wanna know If you can go out and go out, go out and go out, go out and go out. Oh, 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 oh. Are you alone tonight? You don't have to be. Just let me in. Ooh. I am Ian Ileana. I make sounds with my mouth, and I hope you find that to be cool. This has been my podcast, Ian Ileana's I Hate LA, Love Me Anyway podcast. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow, 1800, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you there.